Well, it's election day and there is no shortage of news stories. There's so much going on. There's good things, there's bad things. There's chaos from the Biden administration, the White House, Republicans from Democrats, and it's going absurd. It's just crazy right now. But I want to talk to you about a story that is really starting to hit headlines as of today, which is election day. What we are hearing is that President Biden is causing chaos amongst Democrats. And here's the reason why. On Monday, so just yesterday, President Biden made a statement that shocked everybody because, and again, this shocked Democrats as well, because he made a statement during a last-minute rally for Democratic Governor Kathy Hochul. But he said that there's no more drilling. He said, no more drilling. I haven't formed any new drilling. Well, that is very important to understand because when the questioner in the audience pushed a little bit further, they said that there has been more drilling, that there has been in the Gulf of Mexico and in the Alaskan waters. But President Biden said, and I quote, "That was before I was president. We're trying to work on that to get that done." Now, what does this mean? Well, if we do not drill any new oil, guess what? That means our oil supply dwindles even more than it currently is. And prices for oil and gas are going to go up, are going to increase even further than what they have already increased. Now, what's crazy about this statement from President Biden is that this kind of contradicts what he's been asking for over the past few months. And way back on October 31st, 2022, clear back, a week ago, President Biden, he posted something on Twitter. Okay, I want to read this to you. Look at this. President Biden tweeted this: "The oil industry has a choice. Either invest in America by lowering prices for consumers at the pump and increasing production and refining capacity, or pay a higher tax on your excessive profits and face other restrictions." Again, this was stated just a week ago. Now, okay, companies can either pay an excessive tax or they can invest by lowering production costs, or the big thing is to increase or to lower prices for consumers at the pump or increase production and refining capacity. Well, if they cannot have any new drilling, right? If President Biden says no new drilling, how do they really increase production, right? How do we do that? Now, that's what's very difficult. And right now, this is why some people are questioning the timing of this. Because again, President Biden does this all the time and it's very frustrating. But right after saying that there will be no new drilling, again, he said this yesterday. Right after he made that statement, President Biden comes out again and says that oil companies need to expand their supply. Again, how do they do that if we cannot increase our drilling, right? What do we do? Now, again, President Biden, we can go back and forth on what he's been saying because he just said the other day that GM said by 2035, they will go all electric. Was it by 2035 or 2035? I think it was 2035. Why would they care about going all electric in 113 years, right? Or actually, it's not even 113 years. It's 1,013 years. Yeah, he really said 2035. And let me know if you heard that as well. Just comment, yes, I heard it down in the comment section below. But here's what I can tell you. And again, this is what's so frustrating about what President Biden has been saying lately is that President Biden, he comes out and tells us a certain thing. He tells us what the audience of that rally wants to hear. And he changes his answers based on the people that are in the audience, right? Based on the people he's speaking in front of. We've seen this time and time again. This is exactly what Senator Joe Manchin has told us. And he said President Biden did this just a few days ago as well. Because President Biden, he came out and said, and I quote, "We're going to be shutting these plants down all across America and having wind and solar." You know what he's talking about? He's talking about coal, right? Coal production. Yeah, he wants to get rid of coal. He wants to get rid of coal. He wants to get rid of oil, right? He wants to go all wind and solar. Wonderful. Now, here's the hard part with that. Now, it's going to raise our prices all across the board. But again, Senator Joe Manchin came out and said that this gives, he came out and said that President Biden only gives answers based off of who he's in front of, right? Again, and he wanted an apology from President Biden for his disgusting comments. Right? That's what President Biden or Senator Joe Manchin was asking for from President Joe Biden. Now, here's what I can tell you. This is election day. We have just a short while before some of the polls are closed. But here's what I can tell you. Democrats weren't happy. Democrats are very frustrated with all this stuff coming out right at the last minute, right when people are still voting. Now, again, I've heard so many different stories just today from a lot of Republicans who were trying to vote Republican. I saw a video this morning I thought was very interesting. And let me know if you saw this as well, but where somebody went to the poll and the poll worker was saying that the Republican side, it wasn't working. The system was down. They had issues, right? But the Democratic side was good. You could vote Democrat, but if you're going to vote Republican, there could be issues there. It might not count your vote. I also heard from some people that have moved out of specific states that they are getting their ballots sent to their new address. Because guess what? They voted Democrat in the past. So they're getting their new ballot, which they didn't request, sent to a new address in a completely different state. All right? So I don't know what's going to happen. I don't want to speculate. It's still a little bit early, but just understand there's a lot of stuff going on right now. Democrats aren't happy. Republicans aren't happy. The whole election is, potentially we could have certain. We're going to have recounts. I guarantee that. We might have certain states get contested. We might have a Senate runoff. Right? There's a lot of stuff going on right now. So just understand we are in this weird state where we don't know what's going to happen. We don't know who's going to run or maintain control over the Senate or have control over the House. We know who will be in the Oval Office, but that's about it. We don't know what gas prices are going to do, but based off of all the evidence that we've seen lately, gas prices are going to continue to go up. Energy prices to heat your home are going to go up. We are going to see rents go up. Food prices are going to go up. And all while the American people are just getting hammered with paying more for everything due to inflation. So that's what we know at this time. As always, as I know more, I promise, I'll come back on and share all latest news and updates. Again, just want to thank you guys for watching. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.